Greetings here in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. We're looking at the brand new record from London rockers Wolf Alice entitled Blue Weekend. They released that on June 4th. This is the third studio album from the band. It is the follow-up to their Mercury Prize-winning sophomore album, Visions of a Life. They dropped that in 2017. Certainly no sophomore slump to deal with, and I think there's been a lot of interest in what this third record would be like, especially bringing in producer Marcus Draves. He's worked with Arcade Fire, Florence and the Machine, Coldplay, Brian Eno, just to name a few. It's a good decision, needless to say. And what you get is the sound of a band realizing its full potential at this stage in its development. And it makes this album so much fun to listen to. I don't know if fans of their early work are going to dig where the band is at. They started off as an acoustic duo, began adding pieces to the band, and their first record wasn't released until 2016, My Love Is Cool. It's probably about 5 or 6 years after the band got together, and that record has a big alternative sound. There's a little bit of that shoegazy element there, but as we get Visions of a Life and then fully fleshed out here in Blue Weekend, there's that shoegazy sound takes over. This album really just reminds me a lot of My Bloody Valentine, Loveless, with just a little better production in the vocals. And that's a good thing because Ellie Rossell's voice is amazing. She's getting ready to, she's getting close to 30. She's at the back end of her 20s. And so lyrically, I'm just loving a lot of the themes on this album. No Hard Feelings is a great song that's just driven by this simple bass line. It's kind of urgent too, but it's got a nice sentiment lyrically. It talks about, getting to a point in your relationship where you acknowledge that you love someone, but they're just not that person. And so, there's no reason for there to be any animosity. I've had a lot of friends that have actually had this happen recently, and you go your separate ways and you wish the best for that other person because you do genuinely care for them. It's just not always how love works. A song like Delicious Things talks about the weekend adult snacks that maybe a lot of us partook in our early 20s, and how when we get into our late 20s, those snacks and the way we feel the next day they don't have the same appeal. We start growing out of them, so to speak. At least I hope you do anyway, my goodness. So I'm loving just the general lyrical content there. It resonates with me a lot. I'm about 8 years older than her, but having gone through a lot of this stuff not too long ago, I like the delivery. I like the way it resonates. I think there's a lot of people that will dig her, not just her lyrics, but the quality of her voice. It's just absolutely lovely on this record, on full display. In songs like Delicious Things, got a groovy bass line. Loving the big riff that comes in at the end of that song. A lot of this album has songs that are built this way. They kind of start off with some type of mellow, simple instrumentation, and then really build into these big, strong compositions. Again, a lot of confidence there. The song "Smile," Ellie's lyrics say it all. There's a lyric that says, "I am what I am, and I'm good at it. And if you don't like me, well, that isn't fucking relevant." And I love that line. It's just. It really highlights everything that's going on with this band as far as where they are, hitting their stride full on and creating an album that is arguably their best to date. I can see arguments for why people would prefer Visions of a Life. My Love Is Cool, especially My Love Is Cool. Again, it definitely has a more of an alternative sound versus this kind of shoegazy ambient feel. But there's definitely some hard rockers on this album. The song "Smile," Play the Greatest Hits has got it's a great heavy rocker. Kind of reminds me of La Tigra a little bit. I like the song for that reason. But the instrumentation all over the place as far as, The Last Man on Earth is a great song that starts off with this piano ballad, swells into this big rocker at the end. And then, bookended by The Beach and Beach 2, two wonderful songs that really kind of bookend just 9 solid tracks. I cannot get enough of this thing. I've listened to it about 3 times already. Very impressed with the quality of this record. And it makes me look forward to seeing them live. It makes me look forward to the future of Wolf Alice, what that entails, how much bigger and more evolved their sound can get has left to be determined. But we have this record here, and it's a great next step for the band. I'm definitely going to vinyl please this. Got it on this beautiful red vinyl. I'm absolutely loving this, so I'm excited to pick that up. Hope you enjoy listening to this record. I hope you find this review helpful as well. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out the live show on Sunday nights, and we will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.